Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. I'm G, and we are making our way. We actually, I believe, in this episode are going to be in the new divergence point from the main ending, true ending storyline. That was almost words. But anyways, we're with Ruka. The next day after the attack, I'd arrived just a little before I was supposed to, but the person I was meeting was already there.
It's all Tanya!
Thanks.
I'll keep the seats near you empty for a while to talk as much as you like, yeah?
Thanks. I sipped some fresh coffee as I observed the person in front of me. Evidently we're not with Uruka. I apologize for lying to you. Moka Kiryu. She was as expressionless as ever, and there was no way to tell what she was thinking. What did you want to talk about? How's your arm? My arm? Yeah, is it okay now? The girl in the motorcycle suit yesterday. She blocked Suzuha's kick with her arm. Suzuha had told me later that her kick had landed pretty hard and whoever it hit had probably gotten hurt. If that was Moka. I don't know what you're talking about. I see. I still didn't know if Moka was innocent. Can I see your arm? My arm? Yeah, roll up the arm of your left sleeve, please. Why? Is it a problem? Moka sighed as if she were annoyed. She didn't seem upset or worried at all. Oh, no, that's not it.
Okay, you're in big trouble.
What's up?
You remember what happened yesterday, right? So I was just talking with Nai on Rhine. And she told me about her dreams for the future.
Nice dreams, huh? What were they?
First one, she wants to get good at badminton.
You said first. Does that mean there's a second?
Second, she wants to get good at fighting games. Third, she wants to decorate the brown tube workshop so it looks pretty. Fourth, she wants a telescope.
Is that a dream?
She says lately she's like looking at the stars.
She must have gotten it from you.
She seems like she's interested in space. Nai's so strong. She's a very strong girl.
You're right.
Oh, maybe she's okay too.
And that made me worried. Why was she so calm? Malika rolled up her sleeve like I asked her to. Her skin was a deathly pale white. There was nothing else. There were no bruises and no traces of her trying to hide something with foundation. Of course, there were also no bandages. Thanks, you can put your sleeve back. Moeka tilted her head just a little and rolled her sleeve back down. The girl in the motorcycle suit wasn't Moeka. This wasn't a big surprise. I'd already assumed that she wasn't. Come to think of it, Moeka knew that Kaguri Shina was with us a long time ago. There was no need to attack when so many people were around. Moeka had nothing to do with this. Knowing that for sure was progress. But that left me with a new problem. Who was the woman in the motorcycle suit then? In order to allay Moeka's suspicions, I asked her for a report on her research and told her to keep it up. Then I said goodbye and headed to my next destination. This was my next destination. It took real dedication to open a store like this on the 2nd of January. I took a deep breath, steeled myself, and went inside. Excuse me. You're finally here. He sounded like he was waiting for me. You came to explain what happened yesterday, right? That's part of it. Tanoji had been really pushy about it last night, so I told him I'd explain today. So, what was all that about yesterday? Before we get to that, I want to check something. What happened last night? That wasn't you, was it? Tanoji always looked angry, but now he looked even more pissed off. Me? What the hell's that supposed to mean? Why would I send those guys after you? You don't know? Of course I don't. Because I checked to see that Naya was nearby before I spoke. Because you're a rounder, Mr. Ferdinand Brown, or should I call you FB? His expression quickly turned blank. You bastard.
Daddy?
and I must have sensed the change in her dad's mood because she turned towards him.
What's wrong?
What do you mean?
You look so scary for a moment.
Did I? Daddy's the same as ever, see?
Yeah.
So be a good girl and go outside. No, stay there and watch TV, okay?
Okay.
I still seemed concerned, but did as she was told and sat in the chair in front of the CRT TV. The TV was playing a New Year's comedy program. I figured you wouldn't want your daughter knowing. Shinoji said nothing but motioned for me to sit in the chair away from her. Instead of his usual yelling, he was ice cold. I started sweating despite the winter chill. But now that I had brought it up, it was too late to do anything about it. I sat down in the small seat, legs tense. I was ready to run at any moment. Where the hell did this come from, kid? You can't talk your way out of it. Talk my way out of it? I really don't know what the hell you're going on about. What the hell is this FB anyway? Kinda new SNS? I know that you're a CERN rounder. His eyes felt like they were boring a hole in me. They were completely different from the eyes of the ordinary Tanoji I knew. They were the eyes of a killer. A cold killer who wasn't even trying to hide his murderous intent. I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. Where'd you find this out? I don't need to tell you. Don't let him intimidate you. You're in control here. Come on, tell me. You wouldn't have come here if you weren't ready for this. You wouldn't believe me even if I did. Don't be like that. Let's just have a little chat. God knows I'm not getting any customers today. This man worked for CERN. He was a rounder. What those rounders did to me in the other world line, I would never forget that. But Tanoji probably didn't work for CERN willingly. He probably had his reasons. At least, that's how it had felt in the Alpha world line. Of course, the Beta world line might be different. In this world, he never met Suzu Hashida. How much of an effect that had on his life, I don't know. Tanoji was staring at me, not moving a muscle. Depending on what I said, he was ready to kill me without a word. That's what his body language seemed to convey. Fine, I'll tell you then. Let's see if you believe it. Heh, world lines, huh? I don't believe it. That's why I told you when we started. And it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. What's important is that I know who you are. That's right. He admitted it. What you're saying is almost completely accurate. You know things only I'm supposed to know. It's goddamn creepy, to be honest. By making Tanoji admit who he really was, I could assume I'd have won the first round of this conversation. This is when things got hard. I know that CERN demands absolute secrecy and that they kill you not only if you fail in your mission, but if you succeed, too. CERN had always ensured that their rounders died. And then they'd killed Mayuri, too. You knew that, too. Then... He slowly stood up. But this has nothing to do with your mission. I barely managed to squeak out the words. It's the same with your secrets. There was no leak. I knew them from the start. There's no need for you to be punished. Am I wrong? Heh, bullshit. Noji's face was right in front of me. His green eyes were boring into me and I couldn't even move. But I guess you're right. Sir never told me to look for this IBN 5100 thing, and I never told me to bring you to them. If they didn't tell me, there's no need for me to do it. If you don't tell anyone I'm around her, that's the end of that. No problem. Tanoji was looking past me toward Nai, who was still watching TV. His eyes had changed from those of a beast to those of a parent. So, what is it? You told me all this because you want something, right? I actually want your help with something. Tanoji silently waved for me to continue. I want you to protect Kaguri Shina, the girl that was attacked last night. Who's after her and why? I don't know. Then I can't do it. Because you don't want to involve your daughter? Yes, you do know. You never should have brought it up. She's already involved, isn't she? You think what happened last night isn't going to happen again? You're using Nai as a hostage. I'll kill you, you little bastard. Stay calm. Lose it here and it's all over. I'm saying we should work together. Work together, huh? There's a lot of downsides for me in that, isn't there? That's not true. Oh, nope, that's not. Reintro. That's not true. Suzuha came into the store, along with...
Excuse me?
Kaguri. Suzuha, you were listening? Suzuha nodded.
For instance, if you were to hire Kaguri and I to work here, you wouldn't have to leave.
True, it was close to the lab and probably safer. You could protect them while protecting Nai. It'd be faster for you to get the hell out. Nai and I wouldn't have anything to worry about then.
You two saw the faces of the attackers last night. You know what that means, don't you?
There was a chance they might try to kill everyone who saw their faces.
I've got combat experience. I know how to use a gun. You saw that yesterday. So I can help.
Tenoji rubbed his temples in thought for a moment, but...
Daddy?
Nai, who'd been watching TV the whole time, suddenly interrupted.
I don't know what's going on. Yesterday was scary. I don't want that to happen again.
Nai.
I was really happy when you protected me, but when I thought about you getting hurt, it made me even more scared. It says Suzuha is really strong and she protected me yesterday.
Did Nai understand what we were saying?
I want to be with them.
Noji scratched his head and then spoke brusquely. Just so you know, the two of you are splitting the pay.
How old?
If you got a problem with it, then you can find another job.
No, thank you, sir. Daddy!
Nai gave her dad a hug. This was a good sign. If Tenoji was on our side, I could probably keep Kaguri safe. Thank you. It ain't for you. It's for Nai. Nai was already happily chattering away at Kaguri and Suzuha. As Tenoji watched, his eyes were those of a father again. Anyway, that's how we'll handle it here. Okabe, you find out who those guys were. Otherwise, there's nothing I can do. Got it? Got it. It was one thing to say it. But honestly, I had no clues at all. I turned to go up the stairs to the lab when Tenoji seemed to remember something. Alright, those guys were calling out some weird number. Number? I think it was, K6205 or something like it. K6205. Was this some kind of code? The bastards were pronouncing it Fife instead of 5. Had some kind of accent, you mean? No, that's not it. It's a phonetic code. Military jargon. Military. And it's a Western code, too.
Oh, there you are, Queen!
Came straight up to the lab, where most of the people who were here yesterday had gathered. Maho was busy with a problem Amadeus was having, and she was the only one who couldn't come. You guys all okay getting together like this, after what just happened?
What just happened is what we're here to talk about. Ashita said it would be safer to meet in the same place instead of moving.
They're not dumb enough to attack when we've got our guard up, especially not in the middle of the day.
It's safer to have everyone together than split up.
Maybe they were right. Whoever they were, it was hard to imagine them starting something in Akihabara, Japan in the middle of the day.
I'm just glad you're all safe. Thank you for coming, Yuki. No, I was really worried about after hearing about what happened last night.
Yuki wasn't here during the attack, but she'd come to see how we were doing.
I still can't believe something that scary could happen in Japan, though.
Even outside of Japan, it's not something you see every day. That was true. Nobody who lived a normal life would ever see it. That's what normal meant.
I hate to be going when you just got here, but I have work after this.
Sure, don't worry about it.
I'm happy to see you're all safe. But you still can't let your guard down, so be careful. Ah!
Watch out! Yuki almost slipped as she walked past me. I grabbed her arm to hold her up.
Ow.
Oh, sorry.
No, I tripped and hurt my arm there when I was at the station yesterday.
She rubbed the arm I'd grabbed, embarrassed.
Another time when I trip on nothing at all. I hate being so clumsy. Take care, Yuki. Thanks. Okay, everybody, see you.
The door closed and I could hear her footsteps trail off into the distance. 2 days of work in a row, right after New Year's, huh? What's wrong, Green? Nothing. The way she hurt her arm. It was the left arm, the same place the woman in the motorcycle suit had gotten hit. But there was no way.
Alright, Ocarine. Can you tell us what happened yesterday?
Fubuki was a little more chipper than Mayuri and Ruka. She and Kaide had gone shopping, so they'd missed the attack. That was probably why. They were lucky not to have encountered any of the escaping attackers. Okay, so first thing. Daru and I had spent hours discussing how much to tell them. After all that, I couldn't just play it off like nothing had happened. The only ones here who knew about the time machine were Daru, Ferris, and Mayuri. Was it okay to tell Haruka, Fubuki, and Kaide? And then Maho. If she knew that Kurisu had completed a time machine theory, she'd definitely be interested. In the end, the conclusion I'd come up with was... So that's what happened.
In other words, you think Kakari may have been involved in some sort of crime when she had amnesia?
That's my guess.
And why don't we go to the police?
Because, she's really scared of the police. It's possible that they could be involved in it too.
This all just doesn't feel right.
Of course it doesn't. I was basically telling them that I didn't know anything. But even if I was hiding a lot of the truth, the fact remained that it was mostly correct.
So what we learned last night was that they're after Kagari and unlikely to hurt us, right? Why do you think so? They would have been able to take one of us as a hostage in that situation if they had wanted to. Since they didn't, that means that they want to try and keep this quiet.
Daru and I reached the same conclusion. So that means as long as we don't cause a fuss, we're fine. That was a lie. Just like Suza had said earlier, there was a good chance they might come after us because we'd seen their faces. But it wasn't smart to say that and worry everyone. So I don't think it's a good idea for Nakase and Kurushima to come around here for a while.
What will you do about Kagari?
I've taken precautions. I gave her a bodyguard.
A bodyguard?
2, actually. The 2 who drove them away last night.
Is that the owner, right? Oh, that guy with the huge muscles. That means she's going to have to live in fear that she'll be attacked again.
I was right. Just playing defense wouldn't solve anything. I'm planning on hiring a detective to see if I can find out who's after Kagari. Once I have more information, I may go to the police. Of course, more than half of that was lies again. If I went to the police or a detective, they wouldn't believe me about Kagari being a time traveler. But what was important now was calming everyone down. From there, I'd have to solve things myself. To be honest, I was sick of living in the middle of a conspiracy theory. But it was the only way I could get my everyday life back.
I think, yeah. Hey, Ocarina, are you listening, yeah?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
I told Kuroki about what happened yesterday, yeah. If anything weird goes on in Akihabara, he sure to let us know right away, yeah.
You see.
Also, I've asked the neighborhood watch to step up their patrols, yeah. Wherever they were, they'll keep them away for a while, I think, yeah.
Thanks, Ferris. That's a huge help.
No problem, yeah. Is there anything I can do? Kaguri's in trouble and there's nothing I can do, and I can't help you either, Okabe. It's just... Maybe she wants to do something for Kaguri, too. Is there anything we can do? Well...
Everyone fell silent. Even after all that had happened to them, they still wanted to help. But I couldn't let them be in danger. And then I remembered what Tanoji had said. K6205. What's that? Supposedly it's something the attackers yesterday were saying, but I have no idea what it's supposed to mean. Hold on, I'll goggle it. Daru opened the browser and quickly typed it in. I'm only seeing product IDs and stuff. Noji said they might be military. So it might be a military code. Which meant there was nothing we could do. I was hoping there might be some clue, but... Kochel? Not sure. Kurishima, what did you say?
No, I was just thinking that K might mean a Kochel.
Kochel? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Kochel number. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
That's a Kochel number.
It's a numbering system for Mozart's songs. After he died, a man named Kochel ordered his songs chronologically and gave them all numbers. I don't think even Mozart wrote 6,000 songs. I don't think it's got anything to do with this.
Mozart? Wolfgang A. Mozart.
Sorry for bringing up something so weird.
Daru, how high up do those Kochel numbers go? It says the last one is 626, a song named Requiem.
That's a song Mozart was writing just before he died, right? You know a lot about it, Kaede. You know I play the piano.
Then what's K620? 620. Oh, here it is. It's a song named The Magic Flute. I heard the name before, at least. Let me see. I looked over Daru's shoulder at the screen. He clicked on the heading for the Magic Flute on Mozart's wiki page. Magic Flute. K620. Written in 1791. Mozart's last completed opera. It was famous for including numerous examples of Freemason doctrine and symbols. So, K6205 is what, the fifth song in the opera? The fifth song was a quintet called Papageno, the birdcatcher, has a padlock placed over his lips, and this is his song begging someone to open the lock. Mozart. Amadeus. Freemasonry. Padlock on his lips? Got anything? No, but... Why did this all feel so creepy? Didn't I just talk to somebody about Mozart?
Don't look at the password.
Maho. Maho had used Salieri, Mozart's rival, as her password to access Amadeus. On its own, that didn't mean anything, but... Come to think of it, Maho said she lost access to Amadeus just before the attack last night, didn't she? Did she ever find out what caused it? I'd have to call her or contact her via Rhine. Which would be faster? Let me make a quick call. I pulled her number out of my contacts and called her. I made it through after a few calls.
What? Was there something else?
No, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Make it quick.
The irritation was plain from her voice, which meant that she hadn't solved whatever the problem with Amadeus was. How are things with Amadeus?
Not good.
The system's down?
No, I can't access it.
Which meant...
Someone may have taken over the Amadeus system.
Taken over? Amadeus? Why?
Sorry, but is there anything else? Once I know something, I'll call you.
She hung up on me. Is that Mahotan? What'd she say? She said it looks like someone's taken over Amadeus. Taking it over, huh? I thought there might be some connection over this Mozart thing, but I couldn't say anything yet. Fragments of these strange incidents were scattered all around me. That's how I felt. If I could pick up all the pieces and connect them, would I find the answer? For example, Yuki Amane's injured left arm. What did that mean? Alrighty. So, now, this is the divergence point. So, we are not going to answer. Just as I was about to put my phone back in my pocket, it rang again. At first I thought that Maho might have forgotten to tell me something, but when I saw the screen, I gasped. What's this?
Oh, Green, he's calling.
I stared at the screen, unable to answer. The phone kept ringing. What's the meaning of this? Why would Amadeus, who'd been taken over, be calling me? Was this some kind of trap? What should I do? Answer it? Or... I hesitated a moment and the call from Amadeus ended. My phone fell silent. What's going on? And right after that, I suddenly felt incredibly dizzy, and everything went black. What? What's going on? .08, 1163, I think? Amadeus and Salieri. Kursu and me. These two pairings held a special meaning for me. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. A famous musician, known and loved worldwide. His name at baptism was Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theophilus Mozart. Theophilus is a Greek word meaning beloved of God. Mozart liked it and chose Amadeus, a Latin word meaning the same thing, as his nickname. At the end of his tragically short 35-year life, he left us over 600 masterpieces. Was Amadeus truly a special person, beloved and granted special unique gifts by God? I didn't think so. He was a genius, sure, but I think Amadeus had his own struggles and suffering to overcome. No matter how wonderful a diamond in the rough might be, it's worth nothing unless you polish it. Writing off his success as the result of his gifts is an insult to the effort and struggle he put into his work. At the same time, if you want to be Mozart, don't you need the same level of raw talent he had? There are a lot of people in this world with that kind of talent. Kursumakise. To me, that was her. You could feel her talent just by looking at her. Her constant stream of new ideas was always a source of inspiration to me. I was proud to be able to work with her. But I didn't know what I meant to her. It was embarrassing to ask. I always hoped I'd get the chance to bring up the subject someday. But then on July 28th, 2010, Kursumakise passed away, and I lost the chance to find out what I meant to her forever. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. During his life, there was a man very close to him who considered him his greatest rival. His name was Antonio Salieri. I took my account name on the Victor Condrey University network, Salieri, from him. The network got a big update a few weeks after Kursu died. That's when I chose it. I wanted to match the name of the software that Kursu and I had been working on before her death, which I still worked on to this day. There was no more meaning to it than that. The name of that software was Amadeus. It was Dr. Leskinen who came up with the idea of naming this neural network-based AI after the genius composer. At the time, I thought it was a good idea, and I still do today. I still do today. Amadeus and Salieri. Kursu and me. These two pairings held a special meaning for me. I loved Kursu. I respected Kursu. I admired Kursu. I... Twin automata. The sense of dizziness I had experienced so many times before slowly faded. I was standing in the middle of the room holding my phone. There was no question. That was reading Steiner. The world line had changed. But why? What was the cause? Was it that message from Amadeus? No, I could worry about the cause later. Now I needed to know what was going on. I looked around the lab. The place hadn't seemed to change much, but several people were missing. The missing ones were Kaede, Fubuki, and Ferris. Daru was sitting in front of his PC like always. And Mayuri was in the kitchen making instant coffee. She handed the steaming hot coffee to Maho, who was sitting on the sofa.
Maho, have some coffee. It'll calm you down. Thanks, I'll take it.
Maho? Maho was here at the lab. Before the world line changed, she should have been at her office in Wako City.
Ew. Come to think of it, I haven't had anything to eat all day. I can't blame you after what happened. Want some food? All we've got is chicken wings and bananas and snacks, though. Or should I get a box lunch from a convenience store? Oh, maybe we could order pizza. Thanks, but I'm okay. I'm not that hungry. I'll need to change hotels, too, after what happened. Probably have to fill out some paperwork, so I'll be back later.
You can just rest for today? You look pale. You can stay here at the lab if you want. Izaha's not here, so you'd have the place to yourself. I listened for a while, but all I learned was that something bad had happened to Maho and she was staying here for a while. Did it have something to do with Amadeus being taken over? Yajo, what happened? Maho, Daru, and Mayuri all seemed stunned at the question.
What do you mean, what happened?
Oh, I'm just having trouble taking it all in. What happened to Amadeus? Did you get the connection back online? I tried asking, but Maho just frowned as if she didn't know how to answer. Did that mean that Amadeus wasn't taken over at all in this world line? Hmm?
Oh, come on, Okabe. There's nobody in the Wako City office right now.
For real. Mocha Kiryu? Why would she be sending me a Rhine?
Yes.
Ah! I screamed when I realized that Mocha was right behind me. Where did you come from?
I've been behind you the whole time. Sure, I may not stand out much, but seeing you look like you just ran into a ghost kind of hurts, you know?
Were you here the whole time?
Yes.
Did that mean I told Mocha she could come into the lab? What was going on here? What do you mean, empty? He was probably talking about the Brain Science Institute's office in Wako City. No one was there.
It's closed.
Closed? Mocha's fingers raced over the phone.
Oh, I just explained this. There was a gas leak at a lab yesterday. The facility's been locked down until they determine the cause. But Kyajo and Professor Leskinen have moved their lab to Tokyo Denki University in the meantime.
Jealous? There was a gas leak. Yesterday. I didn't remember that. Worldline change must have altered the past. So Hyajo came here.
I just told you, remember? That's part of it, but someone ransacked my hotel room this morning. Samaka told me how to contact you. Did you forget?
I'm glad you were okay. Did you run into the thief?
No, I was lucky. You could say it's thanks to Kiryu. That was the only bit of luck we had.
That's how. I kind of understood how Maho had arrived here. By the way, where's Kaguri? Daru looked at me again, confused. But Mayuri smiled.
I think she's in Iwate right now. I hope she gets to see her family.
Iwate? Why Iwate? Where'd that come from? They found her family?
Yep, Suzuka and Yuka's dad and Suzu all went to see them.
Izaha's with them, so he'll be fine. Family? Iwate? Things had changed more than I'd imagined. If Kaguri was in Iwate, that means that we hadn't been attacked last night, too. So instead of attacking Kaguri, they hit Maho's hotel room? This was getting confusing. I knew it would make her think I was a weirdo by had Maho explain to me what happened once more. From what she said, most of yesterday hadn't changed much. Maho, Daru, Fubuki, Kaide, Nai, and I had all gone to Yanabayashi Shrine. Ruko, Mayuri, Kaguri, Suzuha, and Ferris were all helping at the shrine in their priestess outfits. That fit with what I remembered. After that, we went to Ruko's house and had a small New Year's party. And then Ruko's father shared some surprising news with us. He'd found out that someone who might be a relative of Kaguri's lived in Iwate. Everyone was excited because if they found a relative, it might be the key to getting Kaguri's memories back. So early this morning, Ruko and Suzuha went with them to Iwate. Meanwhile, Maho had gotten a call from Dr. Leskinen on her way back from the party. That's when he told her about the gas leak at the office in Wako City. One of the pipes on another floor had some sort of a problem and a small amount of poisonous gas had leaked out into the air. They didn't know what the cause was right now. Until they knew the cause, they decided to shut down the office for safety reasons. Depending on what they found, it could take anywhere from a week to a month to resolve the issue. Maho had a lot of work to do because of the office closure, and she was out working until morning. Then she went back to the hotel and slept until she was woken up by a call around 10 a.m. Miss Kiryu is here to see you in the lobby, ma'am. That's right, I had that interview today. I thought she was going to call my phone. The battery's dead. After all the chaos last night, I must have forgotten to charge it when I got back to the hotel. She'd fallen asleep without even changing clothes. She rubbed her sleepy eyes and left the room, wearing the same outfit she'd had on last night. She'd grabbed her bag, which held a bunch of her documents and her computer, since she thought she'd need it for the interview. In the end, that was what saved her. I went down to the lobby to talk to Kiryu, and then we chatted for a while and came back up to my room. There were so many people in the lobby that I didn't think I could conduct a good interview. And when I got inside, in those few minutes, someone had broken in and ransacked my room. They'd even ripped the bed and pillows open with a knife, so the whole room was covered with cotton. I'm no good, huh? I was too panicked to do anything. Afterward, I called the front desk and then the police. The police got done with their questioning. Dr. Yajo still hadn't calmed down. So I decided to message you and have her arrested at the lab. Was anything stolen?
The cops asked, so I checked, but I couldn't find anything. My wallet was in my bag. She wasn't out of the room for long. That's right, so maybe the thief couldn't stay long.
Knowing you, they'd probably be more interested in your research data than your money, right?
I don't have to worry about that. All the data and papers are stored on the university server. Nothing's kept on the computer itself.
What about the other thing?
The other thing?
That laptop and hard drive. I didn't need to tell her that I was talking about the ones that had belonged to Kurisu.
They're fine.
Maho pointed to the bag sitting beside the sofa.
They were still in my bag.
I see.
And even if someone had stolen them, they couldn't access them without the password.
What do you think they were after?
They were industrial spy, probably my computer and papers.
Think the office gas leak has anything to do with it?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
Maho's smartphone rang. It was plugged in at the corner of the room, charging. Evidently it had charged enough to turn back on. Maho put her coffee cup on the table and stood up. Mocha looked at her, worried.
Are you okay? Yeah, thanks.
Maho took her phone from the charger and looked at it. But she quickly glanced back at me.
It's from Kurisu.
Kurisu? That mean that Amadeus hadn't been taken over? Maho answered the call, turning the phone so I could see it.
Maho, are you okay? Are you hurt? They didn't get rough with you or anything, right? Okabe? What are you doing with Maho? Are you two already that close? That's not it, Kurisu. I'm at the lab right now. I'm so glad. You're safe then. Yeah, so calm down. How can I stay calm? I called you a dozen times and you never picked up. When I searched the internet, I saw there was a robbery at the hotel and it was evidently your room. I was so worried. Okay, got it. I apologize. Sorry. Thanks, Kurisu. I'm fine. It's true that I was robbed, but I didn't run into the thief. I'm taking a break here right now. I just forgot to charge my phone is all. I must have really worried you, huh? No, if nothing happened, that's fine.
Kurisu didn't seem to have changed at all. Maho explained the events of yesterday to her, the same way she just explained them to me.
And nothing was really stolen.
Kurisu seemed to be lost in thought.
What's wrong? So were they after the research data then?
They put a lot of effort into learning about Maho-tan, right? They knew what hotel she was staying at, what room she was in, and they were able to hit it as soon as she left. Does it make sense that they knew all that and didn't know that there was no research data at the hotel?
So maybe they were after the laptop in her bag.
The only people who should know about that are me, Maho, and Okabe.
And me too.
I see. So unless the thief was Daru or I, there's no chance they were after the laptop.
There was one other possibility.
Kurisu put her finger to her temple.
It could be my control codes.
Control codes? Is that like the admin password?
Not quite. I told Okabe about this, I know. There's a space inside the Amadeus system that only I can access.
Yeah, you called it a secret diary, basically.
That's right. Any access to my system's internal or external gets logged in that diary. Let's say someone altered the system to allow them to take me over and control me. Even if they could do that, they couldn't mess with my secret diary, so I'd compare the two and realize that something had been changed, and then restore it.
Yeah, got it. And the key to open that secret diary is the control codes?
That's right. The Amadeus system and data are all under Dr. Leskinen's control, but only one person in the world knows the control codes. And that's Maho.
Is that true?
Yeah, Kurisu's right. They were after my research results, that's about the only thing they could get their hands on.
Was that stolen?
Don't worry, right, Maho? Yeah. The control codes aren't written down anywhere.
Maho pointed to her temple, just as Kurisu had done.
They only exist in my head.
It seemed like a dangerous way to keep them stored, honestly. If the thief found that out, they'd come after Maho herself next.
Still, there's bad news. You're right, they might be after the control codes. I can't leave Japan immediately, but I don't want to be attacked again. I don't know what to do, though. You can stay here at the lab until things calm down. Or do you want to come to Mayushi's house? Thanks, Mari, but I can't ask that of you.
It hadn't happened in this world line, but I still found myself remembering the attack on Kagari. Neither Mayuri's house nor the lab seemed safe. And I think that is a pretty good place to cut it. Things are getting spicy, and we have diverged from the true world line, whatever the shit. But for now, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate 0, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!